and gentlemen. Today our topic is nuclear power in Taiwan. Recently, a debate about the fourth nuclear power plant in Taiwan has been raging fiercely. It goes without saying that there are pros and cons on both sides of the issue, just like everything else. To begin with, it is said that electricity bills which have gradually crept upwards could be decreased, and abundant employment opportunities would be provided after the plant is established. However, no one can deny that it could also be a danger, not only to us human beings, but also the entire ecosystem. I believe that the Chernobyl catastrophe and 311 nuclear disaster are the best examples of this danger. Both nuclear accidents resulted in significant damage and loss of life.
On April 26, 1986, the most serious nuclear holocaust occurred in Chernobyl, Ukraine. Over 4,000 people's lives were completely destroyed within a few minutes. Malborn infants, cancer victims, and invalids are all innocent victims of the disaster. Since then, many of the survivors have continued to suffer from the radioactive contamination, which won't disappear for several hundred years. The catastrophe subverted all concepts of health and environmental protection overnight. The crops and poultry products, of which local peasants took great care, has become radioactive waste instead of food. As time passes, people may forget the explosion of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant 26 years ago. But for the Ukrainians, I'm convinced that fear of that disaster has become deeply rooted in their hearts. It has become a nightmare for them. In the near future, we will see many changes that we can't even dream of now. If we keep on wasting electricity, causing us to build more and more nuclear power plants, Taiwan will definitely come to a sticky end like Chernobyl one of these days. Chernobyl was caused by human error, and similar tragedies will continue to happen if we don't know how to limit ourselves appropriately. In the end, we'll have to face the resistance of nature.
Also, in 2011, on March 11, an earthquake with magnitude of 9.0 struck Japan. It caused a tsunami, massive fires, and a leak at a nuclear power plant. Of the 6 nuclear reactor cooling towers, number 1, 2, and 3 all experienced meltdowns and hydrogen explosions. Most of the radiation was released into the sea and soil. The government of Japan detected the radioactivity with far higher than normal levels of cesium and iodines, 30 to 50 kilometers away from the plant. The government and Tokyo Electrical Company have to pay at least 3.24 trillion to complete the radioactivity cleanup and reserve a potentially devastating China Signature incident. In a few coming years, Fukushima will just like Chernobyl. People will start to develop various radiation-related illnesses. European experts estimate that more than 1 million people will die of cancer and other diseases brought on by the pollutants released during the meltdowns. In Fukushima today, 300,000 homeless people roam everywhere, drinking unsafe water, eating contaminated food, and dying of cancer. Obviously, people were not fully aware of the truth of nuclear power. I hope in Taiwan can use this nuclear power event as a good lesson to raise Taiwan vigilance and introspection. Don't put our homes, country, and our lives second after profit. The option of generating electricity cleanly and safely is clearly a priority for the Taiwanese.
We have seen how severe nuclear disasters can be. We should stop using nuclear energy. Taiwan is a small island, less than 400 kilometers long. It can't afford to suffer even a tiny little radiation leak. The longer our existing nuclear power plants continue to operate, the risks of the radiation leakage will increase. Geothermal, tidal, solar, and other green power sources are areas that we haven't adequately researched and developed. There are benefits and harms from nuclear power plants. Some countries agreed to build them, others do not. We think it's wrong to build a nuclear power plant, because if it explodes, who will sacrifice their health and lives to clean the radiation contamination? Nobody wants that job. Some people think the chance of suffering the nuclear power plant. Some people think the chance of suffering a nuclear disaster is small, but small doesn't mean zero. We strongly disagree with continuing to build the fourth nuclear power plant. Thank you for your kind attention.
5分45秒。好。